This is Dream 6 in a series of 7, but a quick note before I begin. I know there are some spaces between videos, and I just want to say that it's not because I'm dropping the ball. My nurse practitioner license requires continuing education, and I'm an overachiever when it comes to signing up for classes. Plus, I'm taking a craniosacral therapy course. I'm pretty excited about that. Do want to bring that into the practice. So, studying is like a job, but I do meditate and pour energy through this channel every day. So, on to the dream. I was asleep in a dream when I woke up into another entirely different dream space. I looked around and I could sense where I was because I had seen this place in my third dream. It was the line of consciousness, the line of awareness. Again, only this time I wasn't being told about it as I was in a third dream. I was there at the line, present to it. On the line of awareness, there is an above and a below. This isn't a physical line so much, not like you can point to or draw, but very much an energetic one. I was on the below aspect of it. All of humanity is below, even though there are in between levels as well that can be visited in dream states. Jesus was above the line, and though I couldn't see him yet, I could hear him. His voice transmitting across the line, loving and compassionate, but maybe careful, the way you are with someone you are about to show something difficult to. Not blame in his voice, no judgment, just a carefulness in the way that he was going to explain something uncomfortable to me. He had brought me back to this line intentionally. He was essentially saying, I need you to see this clearly, and I need you to know that seeing it clearly is not the same as being condemned by it. And I understood that what I was about to be shown required being here, at the boundary. I was shown my position below the line. So I will use this analogy. It's like being underwater, maybe, but I'm not allowed to reach the surface. My frequency is matched to being underwater. To be above the water, I have to match that frequency. And that made sense. Where we are, our frequency matches. I'm looking at this situation, and I felt his presence, and it felt like a safety net. I felt a trepidation and was happy for the safety net as I leaned into it. And then I watched and listened as a story unfolded. There is a giant being of conscious light. It is all that there is and all that there ever was. This was my understanding. My next understanding is that we are all born of it. Jesus was as well, long ago. On the line of awareness, but below, with us, there are forces that made a choice to fall away from Source, from God, but they cannot separate us from Source. We did that on our own. Your connection to Source is your birthright, but once you give up your birthright, you are not automatically given it back just because you changed your mind. Once you disconnect from God, you lose the frequency to Him, to the giant Source frequency of God. We were given a gift to be, to go out on our own. We were wanting to experience everything, and we were vulnerable and susceptible. We were also given free will to choose. At the point where you sever your connection to God, Source, and are in a new territory, there are powers or beings that will distract you to keep you preoccupied. There are the powers that want you to keep this dimension going under their dominion. Their frequency is low, and it is currently the frequency that runs this planet. Higher frequency is not adapted to this dimension. Higher frequency is not at this time compatible with the earth as it used to be historically before we lost connection. How were we disconnected from Source? We did it. Well, I think our ancestors did it. Was it curiosity, rebellion? I don't know, but what I do remember from the dream is that it was a collective decision made long ago, long before any of us here today. But here we are. Do I feel that I, on my own, chose to separate from God? No. But as the collective, the choice was made before us. So many biblical teachings ran through my mind. The parable of the fall of Adam and Eve and the expulsion from the garden. The quote from Exodus about the sins of the fathers being passed down through the generations of children to us, generational karma, that sin is separation from God. And this is starting to make a lot of sense, a lot of tragic sense. And as this is dawning on me, I could feel the immense compassion of Christ and the earth. They both sense that I am connecting the dots now. Okay, so the earth, what's with her? And this is a plot twist, the earth herself. I want to be careful here because this part is still forming in me. But what I felt was this. She was part of an original intention of God to be with us on what I refer to as Earth School. We were here with the earth to learn and to experience a wide spectrum of emotions through contrast, ultimately maturing and returning to God, Source, an exploration of what it is like to have free will and to find our way back home. She is originally a divine being down in this realm with us, though her soul frequency is elevated enough to join the higher frequency energy. She is with us all here. And it seems to me from what I registered in the dream that we are currently stuck in this frequency with the earth. It was when the severing happened. She was affected as well. I think initially the earth frequency in totality was divine, but because of free will of the realm, when the energy shifted, it affected everything in this realm, including her, the earth. She has undergone changes as well due to the darkness of this plane, but she is now moving forward and taking us with her. There is a catch. Old Earth will continue to exist here in a state of entropy. New Earth will take those that can hold the frequency with her. It will be by choice. No one will be forced. But what is choice? What side of this will you stand on? I was made to understand that anger, violence, war, hate, greed, corruption have no place with New Earth. I was squaring all of this within myself when I asked, well, how do we change this legacy? And then something shifted. I began to ascend to a place, not so much above the earth plane as much as out of it, into an in-between place. There was a crowd around me, thousands of people all around me. They were facing the center of this space. I followed their gazes to a man illuminated by a brilliant but soft white light, not at all painful to the eyes. And I could see him up close, even though I was pretty far back in the crowd. And it was Jesus. He was addressing all of us. I looked around at the thousands and thousands of us. I knew without being told that the people I was surrounded by were also receiving dreams about Jesus, just as I was, and there were so many of us. He was asking us to spread a message about love, and then he sent something into the crowd, a demonstration of the frequency itself, love, not as a concept, but as an experience. It was like taking a new breath, a breath of true life, into the lungs, into the heart space, and expanding outward. It was an all-encompassing feeling of belonging. There was no room for doubt, no questioning self-worth, because all of us in his presence felt it. He will never give up on us. His trust in us, he is trying to reach anyone that will listen. Love is our frequency home, and Jesus is the bridge across the separation, here to help us manifest in Christ consciousness. The dreams that I have been experiencing about Jesus, I know others are experiencing them as well. He seems to be everywhere, working through us to receive his message. With the job I have, I don't really run around in any spiritual circles. One day I do look forward to having a community of like-minded people, or even not like-minded people. I think we're all in this together. In the next video, before I post the last dream, I'm going to share a meditation with you on channeling this love frequency. It will be simple but powerful. So wherever you are, take care of yourselves and each other. This is Jessica.